The Charlie Rymer Golf Show, starring Charlie Rymer. Hey, okay, let's pick up the tempo here.
Charlie Rymer here, and welcome to my new show, where we do things my way. As a former golf pro and media personality, I know golf. But this isn't going to be your grandfather's golf show. I'm bringing you conversations with celebs and golf greats, getting off the course and out on the water, and even getting into some good eats. This is the Charlie Rymer Golf Show. Keep it in the fairway, folks. Today in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, I'm hanging out with Sports Illustrated swimsuit model Paige Spiranac, who just happens to have a big voice in the world of golf. I'm Charlie Rymer, and this is Ridin' with Rymer. Hey, Paige, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Yeah, great. Let me grab this bag from you here. Well, we got a good day ahead at Grand Dunes. Let me get you loaded up. Oh, what do we got here?
This is my dog, Nico. Actually looks just like him.
Oh, Nico,
and I see
beautiful.
You have one too.
Yeah, that's my dog Buzz right there,
Aww.
golden retriever. Love them, absolutely love them. All right, hop on. Got a really cool golf course today. We're gonna take on Grand Dunes. Let's see what we got out there.
I'm really excited.
You know, I know you played golf at San Diego State, but you participated in student government there. How did you decide to get into student government?
So I was a part of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee. I like to help other people, and it's just a role that I've always felt really good in.
You think maybe the fact that you worked so hard and had so much discipline in gymnastics when you were really young sort of led to you having that kind of spirit that you have now?
Yeah, so I started homeschooling in 4th grade because I was training, 7 to 8 hours a day, 6 days a week when I was like 10 years old. So It was a full-time job.
When I watch gymnastics and I watch the balance beam, that balance beam's 4 inches, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had big putts before, like a 3-footer. If I miss it, it's gonna be painful. But that balance beam, you mess up, you're gonna hurt yourself. I mean, that's scary.
It was tough. Like, it was definitely really hard. And when I was, how old was I? 12, I ended up fracturing my kneecap twice and had a couple other really bad injuries, and I started to really hate gymnastics, and it was really, really tough, and so that's when I decided to quit. It's different, though. I feel like golf is more intense mentally than any other sport I've ever done, and I would much rather do a double back off of a 4-inch balance beam than have a 4-footer to win a tournament.
Wow. That's long and right down the middle, but very boring. This hole goes that way. You know what I've always wanted to do here?
What?
Is launch one right down
Are you allowed to do
the
that?
intercoastal. No, but watch this ball, how pretty it is flying down through there. Boom.
Smoked.
You know, Paige, some people don't go that far on vacation.
I'm still in the water. So I feel like golf guys or people in golf are like the funniest, kind of like crazy guys. Why do you think golf is so like serious and conservative then when they are literally like just so goofy and crazy?
I don't know, it's almost like the fun part of golf is you could be walking down the fairway telling your caddy a dirty joke without smiling, and the people over there thinking,
oh, he's so
they're talking
serious.
about the grain or something. No, it's like some nasty joke.
Why do you think they don't want to showcase that more and make golf fun and relatable?
I think that's a good question. I think a lot of it comes down to the tour just being buttoned down, and if you look at a lot of the sponsorships, really conservative corporate sponsors, it was a big deal to get tour players to be able to wear shorts in practice rounds.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, they're wearing shorts in practice rounds. Well, you know what? They're wearing shorts in practice rounds and the world's still turning.
Yeah.
So, but I think that happens a lot. You know, a lot of these clubs, they get these old archaic rules, and the younger people, as they come along, they're just not going to put up with it.
Yeah.
You know, if I go play golf, I'm going to listen to music, and if you can't let me do that at your club, I'm not going to join there.
What do you listen to when you're on the golf course?
Both kinds of music, country and western. Yeah. You ever listen to Blake Shelton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him a couple times in a concert this year. I don't know any.
That's not look-alike.
Yeah, right. Yeah, was he sexiest man in the world? I was listening to a lot of Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah.
I love those guys.
I like Monday after the Masters is always so much fun to go to.
It's a blast. Let's change gears a little bit. You've been in the forefront in fashion in a lot of different ways, including modeling for Sports Illustrated and swimsuit edition. What do you think about this hat that I'm wearing?
You know, I feel like fashion is supposed to be fun, and I hate when people say, like, you can only wear this because it's fashionable. If you feel confident in what you're wearing and you feel like you're rocking it, then do it. Wear it. Yeah.
Attitude.
Like,
I
who
like
cares?
that. Yeah. Take your hat off. You got to try this on.
I'm not taking my hat off.
Size 8.
Do I look good?
Yeah, perfect. It's like 2 months to get that in. I got a giant melon. So, Paige, what's the best part of your game?
Short game, for sure. I can get up and down from anywhere. And I'm a good scrambler, because I don't hit a lot of fairways, and I don't hit a lot of greens.
Listen, I appreciate you coming out. And
Thanks for having me. I had a great time.
I'm right there with you. Roll it in. Paige is really cool getting to know you a lot better, and also watching that short game that you got. I mean, that's really impressive.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I had a really great time today.
Yeah, always a lot of fun. And thanks for riding with Rymer right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the golf capital of the world.
Sweet tea break. When we come back, I got some prizes to give away. I'm bringing my A game to one of the Legends Golf Resort courses.
Time now for Charlie's Challenge, presented by St. Nine.
I'll be putting Myrtle Beach golfers to the test. My test, that is.
How you doing?
Hey, young man, how are you?
I'm good. So are you ready for Charlie's Challenge?
I've been waiting all day for it.
Okay, so what I got for you, Dan,
Okay.
is I got a dozen balls for you. It's the new St. Nine U Pro.
Okay, thank you.
Those are yours, okay?
Thank you.
And I'm gonna give you a chance to win another dozen. All you gotta do is outdrive me. You already got a dozen balls. This is your chance to get a second dozen balls. You get that one pretty good, Dan?
I towed it a little bit.
Looks like it's gonna catch a fairway, though. All right, let me see how I can do. I think you got me, Dan. Let me get that second dozen for you. Here you go, bud. Congratulations,
Nice
great
seeing
shot.
you again. Nice
Don't
seeing
tell
you.
anybody I got -3,
I won't tell anybody.
okay?
See you later.
All right, that's between you and me, right? I gotta tell you something. I've been doing clinics my whole life, and I've got this thing where I do an intentional top like that. I lock my right knee right at impact. I've never in my entire life hit one that good. It went 2 or 3 yards backwards. Most of the time they go 30 or 40 yards forward. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the best shot I've ever hit in my life. Woo! What a good shot there.
My next guest is on the PGA Tour, so I sure hope he didn't see that drive. Welcome into the Charlie Rymer podcast. Today, I'm thrilled joining us, Akshay Batea, the former #1 world-ranked junior golfer who decided, I'm too good to go play college golf. And from what I can tell, he made the right decision. It's so good to have you joining us on the show, Akshay. I know you recently had your first ever top 10 finish on the PGA Tour. That came out in Napa in the Safeway Open. And let's just start right there. What did it feel like to pick up that first top 10 on the PGA Tour?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on. You know, it's just great. Like, I felt like I did a lot of things great, and it was just a matter of time when I got comfortable and, you know, my game showed it.
You've grown up in the Raleigh area over the years. We've followed you very closely throughout your career, and clearly you could have gone to any school that you wanted to go to and gotten a full ride, but you decided age 17 to forego college and turn pro. Tough time to do that, as you just mentioned, but big picture, how is that decision working out for you?
It's definitely working out. I've learned a lot. I've met a lot of great players that have kind of taken me under their wing, but especially with everything going on, and not a lot of colleges are playing tournaments this season. It's really turned out. I mean, I'm happy with what I'm doing right now, and it's fun just being able to play against some of the best players in the world, and showcase myself, grow my brand, have fans at 18 years old. It's cool, and a lot of people look up to me.
One of the things when you decided to turn pro, and just eyeballing you, you're 6'2". Last time I saw you, 130 pounds. And I'm seeing DeChambeau, Dustin Johnson, Roy McIlroy. They're getting close to being able to carry the ball 400 yards. At 130 pounds, do you feel like you're giving up something to the guys that have had a chance to maybe be a little more developed physically than you at age 18?
I mean, where the game's going, it's pretty crazy. But for me, like, I definitely create enough speed to where I'm not losing a whole lot. I'm able to create 180 plus miles of ball speed, especially in tournaments.
Wow. I want to sort of change gears with you a little bit now. And you just mentioned that you have fans. You have obviously a lot of folks that are following your path of turning pro and not going to college. Is that a path that you would talk to other junior golfers about?
Honestly, no. I mean, I don't know how many people can really deal with how much goes on in pro golf. And unless, you show that you're good enough and you have the opportunity to get in certain events, it's hard because you don't want to be stuck on the mini tours and regret not going to college. It's definitely a hard life. I enjoy it. I've always had the mindset of being a pro golfer, so I was kind of ready for it. And I mean, you've seen so many players that go to college that are good.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Dustin, I mean, Brooks, all these guys have gone to college and they've succeeded. So there's no right or wrong way. It's just, what do you prefer? And having just a good team and a good plan before you turn pro.
Well, certainly the European model has seen a lot of players out of Europe that are some of our best players in the game today that didn't go to school. Roy McIlroy comes to mind. Ian Poulter comes to mind. Lee Westwood. So there's a lot of really good players in the world of professional golf that have achieved at a really high level without going to college. And actually, I want to finish with this. It's a lot of us that grew up in golf, in particular good at an early age, our friends were a lot older than we were. But a lot of people don't know the challenge of having friends you get to see every day and interact with and hang out with. When you're doing what you're doing, that's a big sacrifice, isn't it? I mean, finding folks that are your age to hang out with has got to be tough.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, all the kids that are my age are going to college this year. I always grew up playing with older players. So yeah, you do sacrifice a lot of the social aspect of it. And I've developed a pretty good foundation around me that at the end of the day, once I'm 25, 30, and hopefully successful on the PGA Tour, I'll have enough friends to go hang out with, or when I turn 21, go to Vegas, hang out with them.
A lot of those are friends with jets. That's always a good thing. Akshay, Batea, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the update on your career. And will you keep us posted? Because it's going to be a lot of fun to see how high you go in this game. And I'm betting it's going to be really, really high.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having me. And definitely keep you updated, hopefully on the leaderboards and on my Instagram, obviously. So
best of luck to you, Akshay. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie.
Folks, this is just a snippet of the interview with Akshay Batea here on the Charlie Rymer podcast. For that full interview, go to playgolfmyrtlebeach.com. Here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, we love our golf and we love our good food too. And so today I'm going to cook up a traditional South Carolina style low country boil. You guys are going to love this. Oh, it's already sizzling up over there. That's where all the flavor is. We're ready to go. Now, I'm not the only golf pro that's got ties to the Myrtle Beach area. U.S. Open champion Dustin Johnson went to school right here in coastal Carolina, and he knows a thing or two, I'm sure, about the low country boil. So I'm gonna get a little bit of garlic butter going here. I like having a little garlic butter on my shrimp. It works well on the corn as well. So I've got some Irish butter that I've got melting right here. I'm gonna have to throw some salt in with it. And you know, you gotta use that minced fresh garlic. That just sort of pulls everything together. And the way I look at things with garlic, the more, the better. I also like having a nice cocktail sauce. I use some ketchup. I go in pretty heavy with the horseradish, but when it catches up with its buddy ketchup, magic happens. I put a little bit of sriracha sauce in there just to kick it up a little bit. And I love using Worcestershire Caesar sauce. Never have been good at pronouncing that, but it sure does taste good. Just a touch of it. The thing that really pulls it together, this is the Old Bay seasoning that I'm gonna use in my bull pot right there. I like throwing that in with that cocktail sauce. So we'll get that mixed up. I think our pot's boiling now. It's time to get all of this great stuff into that pot. Come on. Okay, so here's the ingredients. You gotta get everything in the right order. This is just straight up Old Bay seasoning right there. You can't use too much of that. Man, that's already smelling good. Now then, the first thing I'm gonna slide in the pot, I'm gonna put my potatoes in there. So I got the potatoes in the pot, got a couple minutes to sort of hang out. Here in South Carolina, we like hanging out on the back porch a lot, especially when we got a low country bull going. Dustin Johnson, when he's in town for his Dustin Johnson World Junior Invitational, he really engages with the junior golfers, and I love seeing it. A couple years ago, he won in LA on a Sunday, became #1 in the world on a Monday. On Tuesday, he showed up to spend time with the kids. And when you're #1 in the world, the kids know it, they appreciate it, and they react to it. And the cool thing for Dustin is all the adults, all the media, all the parents, they all just completely disappeared. They weren't there for him. He goes right to the kids. He'll give them some tips. He'll hang out with them and obviously get some pictures. So that's one of the really neat things that I don't think Dustin Johnson gets maybe enough credit for, the work that he puts into junior golf here in South Carolina through his foundation and his junior golf tournament. Oh, we gotta stay on time here. We gotta get the kielbasa in the pot. There we go. Another few minutes and it'll be on to the next thing. Onions and the corn. In you go, boys. Couple minutes and you'll be ready to get in my belly. This is ready to roll. My favorite part of the day. Man, that smells good, 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 good. And here's how we serve up a low country boil in South Carolina. Yeah, sling it up on the table. Finish off with a little bit of Old Bay. Y'all come and get it. Dustin Johnson, this plate's for you. I'm heading to course next, but I need a little time for that to digest. So how about a commercial break? Nothing beats golf in Myrtle Beach. I'm showing off and playing some of our best courses, all while giving you some advice for your game. This is Charlie's Golf Tips. Another beautiful spot here, the 16th tee at River's Edge. This is a par 4. It really gets your attention. Now this par 4 works a little bit from right to left. And I want to point something out. The white stake in the middle of the fairway, that's 150 yards from that stake to the middle of the green. It really is helpful to know that if I can get it pretty close to that white stake, you're gonna have a reasonable second shot. Now then, when I look at this hole, it's gonna be very helpful to get this tee ball moving from right to left. And I'd like to start it at that white stake and move it a little bit left because the hole gets really skinny just to the right of that point. I'm gonna use my fairway metal. It's got a little more loft. That helps move the ball from right to left. And one other tip I'm gonna point out, you can see the markings on that golf ball. I'm gonna try to line those markings up right at that white stake. For me to hit a draw, the ball's got some right to left spin on it, I have to have the path of my swing coming from inside to out. When I look at the markings on that ball, I know that's the absolute center of it. I want to hit just inside of that. All right, let's see what we get here. Nice little draw up the left-hand side. I think that's going to be just fine. Come on, let's check it out. I've left myself with 132 yards here. For me, that's exactly between my 9-iron and my pitching wedge. So what am I going to do? So many times in golf, you don't get that perfect number. So you have to make an adjustment. You got to hit something a little bit harder. You got to hit something a little bit softer. At 52, I don't like going at it any harder. So essentially what I need is I need a 9.5 iron. How do I do that? I'm just going to choke up on it a little bit. If this is normally where I grip it, down towards the end, I'm just going to make this club maybe 3/4 of an inch shorter, make my normal swing, and what that's going to do is knock some distance off of it. Normal grip, choke it down a little bit. I got my 9.5 iron. Go in. It was left all the way.
Golf is for everybody. Doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, or the color of your skin. Golf brings people together. It's been the thread that's helped weave my life together. And I'm blessed to have golf and to share it with you. Hope you've enjoyed the Charlie Rymer Golf Show. Keep it in the fairway, folks.